Hi, friends. Welcome to another episode of Soaring Through Chaos. And the reason we do this is because we are in the midst of unprecedented chaos, at least at a global level. But amid all this, there are people who help build community, who help us make sense out of the world we are in. And these are the people I've been talking to so that we can learn from each other. So, Nikita, tell us about your life. I remember when we met and you were the bicycle mayor of Baroda. So tell us what you've been up to lately. How did you end up becoming a bicycle mayor?
Hi Shankar. Hi everyone. So first of all, I would like to thank Shankar for inviting me to have a very deeper discussion, which I don't remember when I did last. So it's interesting that yeah, we are doing this in this kind of chaos where everyone is having so many thoughts about what's going to happen, and when will it end, and how is it going to go ahead, and all that we have seen till now, it had a lot of ups and downs, and hopefully we come to something which is very positive in coming couple of months, and we get over with this whole pandemic. So yeah, a lot of positivity ahead, and yeah, a lot of negativity which has gone in lives of a lot of people. So hopefully we see good positive things ahead in everyone's life. And coming to my story, I'm an engineer by profession. So I studied in NIT Surat, electronics and communication engineering, ended up as instrumentation engineer in a German company, worked there for almost 7 years, and then I left. So yeah, that's about my professional life. But in that professional life, I did take up challenges, and I did take up another role of starting cycling cities back in 2015. Uh, and in 2014, I started cycling to work. So that happened because there was a flyover in making on my way to work, which actually increased the time of commute of just 4 kilometer trip. That was in a tier 2 city called Baroda. So for just 4 kilometers, it was taking me more than 20 minutes in all other transport, like auto rickshaw, two-wheeler, or a car of friends. Everything was taking more than 20 minutes. So I one day planned to, ride to work, and borrowed a bicycle from my friend. And interestingly, that reduced my time to less than 15 minutes. And more than that, I was more happy, more joyful after that, total 30 minutes of trip in a day. uh, and that was a better physical activity for me, because in that sedentary job, I was not doing any physical activity. And after the end of the day, I wasn't getting any time to go to gym for 1 hour, or go for swimming for 1 hour, or yoga. So a little bit of things I was doing, but not at a stretch. And though I have always been a fitness enthusiast, a lot of Surya Namaskars I used to do for swimming also. And then shifting to cycling was a very happy change in my life. And also from the transport mode of choice, it was pretty good, because it was very short. Uh, and I wasn't knowing that this choice of mine of cycling to work would change so many things in my life. So just after 2 weeks of cycling from a borrowed cycle, I ended up buying my own bicycle with my own money this time. Definitely, I have cycled till 12th standard, so I have used cycle to go to school, to go to coaching. But after earning, after working in such a big company, buying a bicycle when everyone was buying a car or a motorbikes was a different change, for which a lot of people commented on me, a lot of people looked upon, a lot of people in my family said, why are you cycling working in such a big company? So that was pretty different thing for everyone who was looking at it. But again, there was a section of people, around 5-6 people got cycles in my office in just couple of months after they saw me cycling. So that wasn't it. There were 50 other people who wanted to cycle, but they had some or the other confusions and thoughts as to, why should I cycle? And I want to cycle, but what would people say? I want to cycle, but I'm so heavy. Would it be good for me? I want to cycle, but I live 6-7 kilometers far. Would it be tiring? So all these questions people had. But these questions were not that big deterrent for people to cycle. They were just excuses or would some kind of mindset issues in people's mind which can be killed. So there can be a final push to people to cycle. So I started working, though I helped a lot of people in my office to commute to work, but then I thought there are many other people out there who want to cycle but they are not able to. So what can be done for them? Meanwhile, I also happened to be in Germany for a couple of months for my project through my office. And there I saw that how a lot of people use cycles as a choice mode of transport. Even though they have cars and other, they use public transport, everything, they use cycles for their short trips, for their solo trips, for their trips to gym, to buy groceries, everything. So it was something which was part of their life and it was mainstream over there. But like this wasn't mainstream in India. So in India, cycling was picking up after 2010. A lot of cycling clubs were coming up, but all this was more of a recreational fitness and leisure kind of cycling where people would just wait for weekend and would go for 20-30 kilometers of ride on weekend, or people would do 100 kilometers century rides, or some people would even go into endurance cycling or racing. But thinking of using that fancy cycle or to buy a milk and bread was something which wasn't very common. So for that, we thought that we should have some kind of awareness around it. We should have some positivity around cycling, some image perception study and change around cycling. That's where we started Cycling Cities, and we planned to build it as a tech platform where we are solving these issues of people, like why you should cycle. There are a lot of types of cycles, and which cycle would be good for you, for your purpose, for your number of kilometers that you want to cycle, and where you should buy the cycle. And if you want to try bicycle before buying, where can you try bicycle? And a lot of other things around cycling, like what events are happening, where are cycling clubs, which club can I join, which shop I can go for service. So all these things, we thought we will build a platform, and I started working on it as well. So when I was working on it, I hopped on from one company to another company to build this platform. But after good attempts, it was a kind of a failure, which I am mix of happy or sad that I'm mentioning that it was a failure, and I overcame it and I built another product after some time. So lot of effort went in it, blood, sweat, money, tears, everything went in it to shape it up, but it wasn't up. So it was so disturbing for me personally. In fact, after that whole 2 years of journey, I in fact went for Vipassana. So if some of you know what Vipassana is, so that kind of break I took from all the chaos that happened, that why things were not working. Though that was something for the technical part, the technical platform, but we were doing very good in on ground front. We did lot of on ground events and engagements with people. So in my own German company, we had set up Tring, called Tricycling Pilot, where we were giving people with helmets and cycles, geared cycles, non-geared cycles, good cycles basically. So people were trying out those cycles. They were coming to office. They were using it on weekends. So we were giving them support rides also, and we were giving them fun rides on weekends also. So all this was happening, and people were trying cycles from trainee to VP level. A lot of people tried cycles, and some of them ended up buying their own cycles. So it was very happy change in my own company. We then opened this service to people outside the company as well, and Shankar must be knowing, because he also connected and got bicycles for trying over rides over weekend, and it was very fun. And Shankar and his wife Seema, both of we have cycled to that village, if you remember. So it
Yes.
was fun. I mean, a lot of people during these engagements that we have done in the city, like heritage rides, mango farm rides, and a lot of other rides that we did, corporate cycle rides. In these kind of events, we have always got people who are cycling after a good break of 5-10 years or 15-20 years, and they are just mesmerized by the kind of feel that they get after cycling after so long. and cycling in nature and cycling in outskirts of the city, cycling early morning when it is pretty cool and very pleasant environment. So all these kind of engagements we did in the city. We also did gift a cycle where people were donating their cycles and we were repairing them and giving it to needy people, girls who want to go to school but their school is far, or there are women who do your household work but then they have to hop on from one house to another walking only. So after doing all that physical work they have to walk as well. So if we give them bicycles it really empowers them and makes their work a little easier. So that gift a cycle also we did for 2-3 years. So these kind of projects and pilots we did in our city, and because of that I also ended up becoming bicycle mayor of Baroda in 2017 May, and I was the first bicycle mayor from India. And this bicycle mayor is given by an organization in Amsterdam called BYCS. So when I became first bicycle mayor, I happened to be in Netherlands also. I saw how cycling is just overflowing there. Like everyone is cycling. There are more cycles than any other thing. More cycles than people. More cycles in cars. So cycles are like in highest number. It's like the cycling country of the world. So it was such a pleasure to be in that country, meet the people who have, been the part of that change, because that change also took many years. It took decades, like 4 or 5 decades to come to that number that 1/3 of the city's trips are by bicycle. So it was full journey was totally full of learnings from that country, from the people who are, working towards getting more people to cycle, getting more kids to cycle. So that was a very interesting journey that I had in Netherlands. After coming back to India, I was back on working things which I was doing for the city. But meanwhile, that dream of building a tech platform was still there. So I experimented again in 2018, and I built Cycling Cities mobile app, which was kind of rewarding people for all the cycling that you do. So it was giving you carbon credit points for every kilometer that you ride, and with those carbon credit points, you are like earning a lot of different rewards that you can redeem, like free energy juice at a cafe, free energy bar, or free haircut, or free massage at spa after your long ride. So all these things we did, and the app was a huge hit. That was a pilot app, proof of concept, and now we are working on you know mega app for all the cities across India. So after that experiment, I also planned to do it full time, and I saw that there is a lot of potential in it. A lot of people also supported it. So in 2019 April, I quit my job as well, and I got married and moved to Ahmedabad. So uh, in that duration, I transitioned from my job to an entrepreneurial journey, and also to another to start a new life as well. So yeah, now after 1.5 years of my marriage, now I'm a mother of a 6-year-old, 6 months old baby. Her name is Shifu, and she also loves cycling. Definitely, babies love cycling during their massage. So fun. We have also taken her for a couple of rides. Definitely, she's in the car, and one of us, me or my husband, one of us is riding the bicycle, and she's enjoying. So yeah, it's been fun with her, and so to share about my husband, I also met him because of the cycling. So we both share some passion of making cities more livable and sustainable, and making cities more happier for people. So people should use bus, and should walk, and should cycle for more active, lifestyle. So that kind of passion we share, and yeah, now we are sharing our lives as well. So it's been fun, yeah. Now in this year, we next month hopefully we'll be launching our fresh app where a lot of people can use it across the country and get rewards. So that's the plan, and yeah.
That's great news. So you started 2 startups within a year, right?
Yes.
Uh, and one is going to be with you pretty much all your life. So question for you. Did you always, as a child, were you always into sports and all that? Or did you get into bicycling more recently? You mentioned that a little bit. So can you elaborate a little more?
Yes, so I used bicycle till my 12th grade. So before that, from my third or fourth grade, I actually started cycling to school. So that time the distance was 2.5 kilometers. So I didn't use any other like auto rickshaw that time to go to school, but most of the times it was cycle only. And so I was cycling to my school, coming back in the heat. And that time these elements didn't matter much. Don't know how these elements matter so much to people, and these become biggest excuse. Like in Ahmedabad, it is always hot and hottest, so people are like, how can we cycle? So but we are here working with government to make some cycle lanes which are more shaded, more green, so you can cycle at any time of the day. So coming back to my journey with cycling, I cycled till till 10th I was cycling to school. Then in 11th 12th I was preparing for IIT entrance, and then I was going to coaching every day. So in at 2 o'clock in afternoon heat I was going by bicycle only. So my whole 11th and 12th I was cycling. And then in my college time, most of the times we walked, but in final year I got a bicycle from one of my seniors when she was leaving, so I used that also for around 6 months. So then after that, when I was in job, first year I walked to work, and then in second year when I there was this whole plan to buy a vehicle with your own salary, I bought a bicycle. So that's my vehicle. And definitely 80% of my trips in the city were by bicycle only. And all the commutes that I did, 80% were by bicycle in Baroda. So now also I'm in Ahmedabad. After 1 year of pregnancy break, I'm back to cycling and trying to do as many trips by bicycle where I have to go without.
That's great. In fact, I was a part of the heritage bicycle ride of Baroda as well. So we
Yes,
saw the entire city, the four
yes,
gates and everything by bicycle. I was just
yes.
describing that yesterday to my wife because she hasn't seen the
Uh,
place, the Shivaji Mandir and all that stuff. So, in what ways has bicycling changed your life? Because becoming the bicycle mayor and going to Netherlands and all that, how did it change you as a person?
Before that, I mean, when I started cycling, so that was something where I had seen a lot of changes in terms of, um, that I became a little bit more, what do you say, disciplined, because I had to reach office on time as I was cycling. So I had to prepare all, I had to maybe change an office if it is summertime. So I was more organized, more disciplined when I was cycling, other than being more productive, happy, and cheerful. And I wasn't, earlier the days were little lethargic, but when you are cycling in the morning itself, your body becomes more active. So then the whole day goes very lightly and in very productive manner. So that was a good change in my life. And then coming to how this whole cycling changed my life, definitely when people got inspired and bought cycles, that was something which got a good high in my life and made me find a reason to why I should do something like cycling cities to push people. Because people around me would every day somebody in the lift would ask or somewhere ask, oh, you're cycling, even I want to cycle, how can I? So all these questions were there in front of me. It's just that the solution I was looking for. So that was something where I initiated something. So they say that initiating is the most difficult thing. But definitely I initiated, and it's been a long journey, almost 5.5 years that I've completed to, at the start of cycling cities, and experimented hell lot of things. Now zeroed on to something, one technology solution. So there has been a lot of change, a lot of ups and downs in terms of experiments that we did, the success and the failure, and uh, kind of understanding what is, where the answer lies for this kind of puzzle, the puzzle to get more people to cycle. So definitely the pandemic has given good answer that a lot of people are on bicycles. If you see all the cycle shops, I have gone out of stock. There are no cycles. People are in waiting to buy a bicycle. There's a waiting number. So definitely the pandemic has changed a lot of things across the globe, especially cycling. The governments are more active to, get cycling infrastructure. So yeah.
That's wonderful. So Nikita, looks like you've had a really good time even during the last 6 months of the pandemic, being busy with the baby, finding
Yes.
time to bicycle and all that. But all around us, what I'm seeing is a lot of distress. People are worried
Yes.
about their health. They're worried about losing jobs and the anxiety around what's going to happen next. Do you have any suggestions on how people can find the ground, how they can, because physical activity can also help tremendously. Do you have any suggestions on what people can do to find a purposeful time during the lockdown or during the
Right.
pandemic?
Right. Yeah, I think pandemic has first thing is that it has changed that everyone has to do their own work at home. So that has already made a lot of people physically active, but still there is that mental stress that all of us have developed. What's going to happen, and how things are going to come out, and what will happen to our future. A lot of people, like 21 million people, have lost their jobs out of 86 salaried people in India. So that's the number. That's a horrible number. I mean, it's like 25% of people have lost their jobs. So basically, that has impacted so many lives, not just 21 million people who lost their lives, but their families also who are dependent on them. So it has caused a lot of distress, and that migrant laborers who had to go to their homes in between when they had nothing to eat. So that kind of chaos was so unorganized and so unplanned that nobody was nobody saw it coming. So definitely there has been that kind of unusual mental stress that has developed in a lot of people's mind in terms of what will happen. I mean, nobody knows the future. So in that case, I would suggest that for mental stress also you should do physical activity other than your household work, because when you're doing household work, definitely it's giving you that kind of functional work and functional fitness or whatever it is. But that mental stress that has been developed, that needs that kind of physical activity of different kind, which takes you in nature, which takes you outdoors, and which takes you not outdoors in terms of that so many people are gathering. Try to go for rides in a group of one or two people or solo, and do cycling. If you don't have cycle, borrow a cycle from friend, use it, go to some beautiful place in nature, out of in the outskirts of your city, and experience nature, experience the calmness, experience that pause that you know that is there, and experience that what all you have gone through, and what do some kind of reflection, pause, reflect, and rethink that things are going to be better, things are going to be good again, and life is going to come back on track. So yeah, that's what I would suggest. Go out, try different outdoors, try walking, try running, try cycling, try any other sports that you want, because sports directly gives you that kind of hormonal adrenaline rush that actually hits your mind and makes you more happier. Yeah. So I would suggest everyone that the whole chaos around can be solved with one thing, that is relieving your mental stress, and that mental stress can be relieved only with some kind of physical activity or some kind of meditation. So sit and meditate, or go out and sweat out.
So another thing I remember is you have been through some of these yatras, like is it Jagrati Yatra or something like that? How did that change your life, and what was it like being in a Jagrati Yatra?
Right. So yeah, I went to Jagrati Yatra when I was in final year of my college. So I filled the application and I was selected in first time. So for those who don't know, Jagriti Yatra is a 15-day train journey. Usually starts at the end of December around Christmas and ends in the second week of January. So around 15 days you are on train. You are on train from Mumbai and crossing the whole golden quadrilateral of India, all the edges you cover, cross through all the cities on the coastline, and then you stop at around 14 15 cities. You meet the role models over there. The role models are people who are impacting the lives of people in rural area, or impacting the lives of people like Narayan Murthy in Infosys in Bangalore, or Selco Solar, which is in Hubli, Dharwad. So how they are impacting the lives of a lot of people. Madurai Eye Care Center or Gunj NGO, a lot of uh, do amazing work in giving cloths for dignity. So all these people who have done some kind of tremendous work in their field over a lot of these years with some persistence. So these meeting these people, understanding their life journey, how they are transformed them, how taking up similar decision in your life would possibly transform your life, and would be the hint that it is going to be challenging. So it is going to be stressful or challenging, or it can be sometimes lonely as well. So all this we saw through the lives of a lot of people, uh, all these role models that we met. So in and other than that, so there are 450 people on the train. Around 400 are from India and 50 youth are from out of India.
It's 11 o'clock.
So meeting all these people from different walks of life, different backgrounds, different socio-economic backgrounds, meeting all these people, knowing their journey was something which was totally life-changing. I mean, those 15 days were so amazing. I mean, made a lot of long-time friends, lifelong friends, and also made connections which are going to nurture what the work that you are doing and the work that they are doing, how it can be more collaborative, how it can be more supportive, and how it can be more transformational for the society around us. So that Jagriti Yatra changed like lives of a lot of people who took that yatra. So in fact, I met my husband through that network only. So he did Jagriti Yatra in 2014. He was there as a facilitator, as a mentor for all the yatris. I was in 2011, but there is a common network of all the people who went to Jagriti Yatra. So definitely they all are connected through a platform. So that's where I posted about my initiative, Cycling Cities, and he responded that he's working on Urban Voices. So that's where we connected, we met, and then yeah, it hit a long way.
That's great.
So
That's a fantastic story. Hopefully,
yeah, Yatra impacted my life personally and individually in both ways.
that's amazing. So, given the pandemic and the fact that there are so few opportunities, one of the groups that has been affected a lot is youth. Students in schools, colleges, their schools are now getting remote. They cannot meet their friends. And also, when they graduate, there are no jobs or much fewer jobs. There's a lot of disillusionment right now among the youth, and
Right.
both teenagers as well as young adults. Do you have any suggestions on how they can find meaning in their career? Physical fitness is all good, but people are just feeling lost. What
Right.
kind of suggestions do you have? What can people do?
Right. So I think, yeah, I mean, when you say that there are lots of jobs, and but parallelly, a lot of things have changed around us during pandemic. I mean, be it China, or be it the drift with China, or that Atmanirbhar whole thing going, vocal for local. That all has kind of changed a lot of things. Definitely, I mean, the whole startup thing in India became more visible only after 2010, I think. So it's been 10 years, but still in that also, it's been only last 5, 6 years that parents and people are more comfortable seeing their kid taking that kind of risk and doing something. So I would share my journey itself. I mean, my parents would always, so I planned quitting my job 3 or 4 times, to do this full time. But I started this in 2015. I could only quit my job in 2019 April. That too when I was shifting cities. So otherwise I could have continued my job and continued this, because there was that whole courage to quit the job and lose that kind of financial independence, and then try something which is there is no surety if you start earning in next 2 months or next 10 months. So, and how intensive it would be. So all this was there in my time. Definitely my parents would always say what they have been supportive in my journey, in my education. I was the first one to come out and study engineering, leave my home and come out and study engineering. I was the first girl in the whole family, first girl, or I would say first child to go out and study. So definitely my parents have always been supportive, but at the same time this whole business startup kind of thing that I was experimenting with my job, they always told me, what have you got out of it? What have you done till now? These questions had always been there with my parents. So definitely, I mean, the whole scenario of starting up and doing a job in a startup with very low salaries initially, that all has been not very well picked up with the whole generation around. But in last 2 3 years things have changed. The youth is very excited to work with startup. The youth is very excited to take up some dynamic role, and the people around these days, the youth want to learn new things, learn new skills, which maybe does not happen with jobs always. You get some role and then you do it for some time, so there is some monotonicity in the job roles in the corporates. But when you talk about startups, definitely there is that kind of dynamism, and there's some kind of challenges as well. There are a lot of learnings and a lot of developing new skill sets is always there. So uh, the role in your startup, the people who join startup, they are always much ahead in terms of skill sets and the kind of personality change that happens. So I would encourage more youth this time to not sit idly at home. I mean, the ed tech education technology has grown like anything in this time. You can just pay $100 and learn whole new skill set in 2 3 weeks. So don't sit, find your find your niche and find your skill set. What do you really like? Do you like to paint? Do you like to do some graphics? Do you like to write content? Or do you like to do some kind of research? Do you like numbers? Do you like analytics? What is your background? What is your interest area? Try to find that out and try to learn that new skill. There are a lot of skills out there. Learn what is the job possibility in that. So job can be not just in corporate, but it can be in a startup. You are actually in a startup trying to solve a problem. So that's something more real time and more learnings it will you will gain after performing some this kind of role in a startup. So I would all suggest the youth around that don't bring any kind of negative emotions or negative thoughts in your mind about the whole pandemic and the loss of jobs. And definitely it is so difficult to say that some people have lost their jobs. So how would they find new job when there are no new jobs in the market? So definitely it is very disturbing. But at the same time I think people should look inside, look what they really like, and learn some new skills in the gap that they have, and then try and see that there would be some good opportunities, or there would be some businesses in the city who are definitely going locally, they are going big. So join them and try to add your skills in that, and try to learn something which can help that business, growing that business, scaling that business. So definitely technology is going to be one very important part, be it digital promotions, social media, or be it analytics, or be it content, or be it marketing. So learn all these things, and experiment them with businesses around and startups and join them, and yeah, don't be disheartened. There is a lot out there which you can learn and which you can experiment in startups. So
Yeah, I agree with you, Nikita. Just a couple hundred years ago, there were no corporations. It was all small businesses and people learning from each other. And I think it's time to go back to, yeah, we have a global outlook, but we have to focus locally on what can be done. So yeah, it was wonderful catching up with you this way, Nikita. And good luck to you and Manish and your daughter, what's her name, Shivu? Yeah. And please stay in touch. And I'm looking forward to connecting with you as well as many people out there. If you have more questions, we will give Nikita's contact, especially social media contacts, and my own too. And if there's a lot of questions, then we can do another follow-on session about what we
sure.
can do both in outdoor sports as well as in entrepreneurship and any other topics that may be of interest. Please stay in touch. And I'm glad you made the time to join us.
Yes, and it's my pleasure, and I hope that the people who are watching and listening to this, it brings some spark or some change in their lives, and they are more motivated to do something after listening to this. So obviously, I would share one line that don't fear starting, because starting only gives you a beautiful end. So start what you really like. Start it today itself. Thank you.